Listen to me, how far you go, how much you grow is not just determined by who you are, what you have. It's equally impacted by who you are with. Relationships matter. Because relationship management isn't just relationship management. Relationship management is life management. Can't get life right if you're getting relationships wrong. But this doesn't happen accidentally. It requires intentionality. It requires developing interpersonal skill. It requires relational intelligence. And that's defining and aligning your relationships. And I want to talk to you about defining and aligning one of the most important relationships you will ever have, and that is your friendships. And in this video, I'm going to give you another framework for your friendships. Listen to me. One of my favorite scriptures is in Proverbs 27:6, and this is what it says. Wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. It's wounds from a friend that can be wounds from a friend can be trusted. Why would a friend wound me? That doesn't make sense to me. It's a little confusing. I mean, I think if a person is a friend, they wouldn't wound me. I think what the writer is saying, though, here, something that's so important, is that sometimes friendship requires us doing things that don't feel good, but they work out for the good of those that we love. I'm going to say it again. Sometimes friendship requires us doing things that may not feel good to someone else, but it works out for the good of them. Wounds from a friend can be trusted. It means that a friend is a person who loves your future more than your feelings. They should never intentionally try to hurt your feelings, but they are willing to risk hurting your feelings for a moment so that they can protect and preserve you for a lifetime. And one of the ways this often happens is through something very simply called truth telling. You know, I'm walking you through this biblical framework for friendships. We throw the word around friend loosely. In our current culture, you can press a button and follow people on their social media profile, and they're called friends. And the reason you got to get this right is because you can't get life right if you're getting this wrong. We are encouraged and instructed through the scriptures not to cast our pearls before swine. It means that we need to make assessments before we make investments, and we need to be able to properly discern and determine what should I be investing in people, who should I be invested in, and what should I be expecting from that relationship. And so we're given a framework from the creator of relationships on how to do this. And one of the things I talked about in a previous video is like, all right, if they're a friend, they got to have unshakable character. I talked about in another video, if they're a friend, they got to have unconditional love. And in this one, I want you to know, if they're a friend, they must have unbridled honesty. Here's a principle. When you know the truth sets you free. What does that mean, Dharius? The truth sets you free. The telling of a truth disarms the power of a lie. If truth sets me free, it means that which is not true keeps me bound. And friendships are the context where you actually have the most opportunity for truth telling. I'm going to say it again. Friendships are the context where you have the most opportunities for truth telling, because friends hear things that other people wouldn't necessarily hear. Friends see things from you that other people wouldn't necessarily see. Friends get exposed to aspects of who you are that other people may not get exposed to. So what does that mean, family? How does that impact us? It means that that if you get the privilege and the opportunity to see things that other people don't see and hear things that other people don't hear and see sides of people that other people don't see, it means that you have an opportunity to speak into those areas in a way that no one else will. Think about that. So I want you to check this out now, because I think this is important. Because many people don't tell the truth because they think the truth may destroy their relationship. And what I'm saying to you is this: truth never destroys a relationship. Truth exposes it. If it can't handle truth, it wasn't a strong relationship. If you get upset with me for telling you something that can help you, then that doesn't destroy our relationship. It says to me, our relationship is not what I thought it was. See, here's one of the things. So, truth-telling isn't just about us protecting. Truth-telling is important because, and when I say intimacy, I don't even mean like romantic intimacy. I mean closeness. There cannot be intimacy without you being able to see into me. And if you're going to be able to see into me, then there's got to be some things I got to be willing to say to you. Hey, I don't like this. This affects me adversely. This hurts my feelings. I feel disrespected. I feel unappreciated. I feel like you put me in a compromising position. I need to be able to articulate those things so that we can overcome those things, because if I don't communicate those things and suppress those things eventually are going to compound. So what started off as simply a bump in the rug, underneath the rug, becomes something that we're tripping over throughout our time and tenure in our relationship because we are not able to tell the truth. And I'm just telling you this, being able to experience this requires two things. One, it requires a person being emotionally healthy enough. They need EQ. They've got to be emotionally healthy enough to tell the truth, because it is difficult for people pleasers to tell the truth from time to time. But on the opposite end, there's got to be the degree and the dimension of emotional intelligence that allows a person to be able to hear the truth. So I love this because a person's willingness or ability to tell the truth or lack thereof may reveal an area where they need to grow here. Because even in this idea of relational intelligence, one of the things that I say is in the book, I give one equation that I think has evolved a little bit now. It used to just be IQ plus EQ, but it's IQ plus EQ plus CQ equals RQ. Right? So your IQ plus your EQ, which is emotional intelligence, CQ, what's that, Dharius? Your conversational intelligence equals your relational intelligence. Now let me talk a little bit about personality here, because this is important. Because many people allow their personality to be used as a prison. So there's, right, because you've got, dominantly speaking, you've got people who will be considered introverts, then you got people that could be considered extroverts, and you got people like myself who fall in a category called ambiverts, right? So I cannot live in either extreme. I just can't be by myself all the time, but I just can't be with people all the time either, right? So as an ambivert, it means that I draw energy from isolation. But once I am re-energized and recalibrated, I'm ready to now come back out and engage with the masses, if that makes sense. So anyway, here's the point that I'm making. There are times where people use their personality as an excuse not to grow in this area of emotional intelligence. So introverts will say, well, you know, I'm introverted, so I can't tell the truth. Well, your personality has nothing to do with your truth telling. Like, there are people who are extroverted who don't tell the truth. They talk a lot, but that doesn't mean they talk in truth. Right? Some people just talking, come on. And I'm not saying it's you or your friends or your family, but I would imagine you've probably been in some situations and scenarios and you just like, they just talking. I don't even think they believe what they talking about. So you can't allow your personality to be used as a prison when it comes to truth telling. Because just because something is not comfortable doesn't mean you're not called to do it. And if you are going to be the friend that you've been called to create to be, but if you're going to have the friends, and honestly, I'm going to be real honest. You know, relational intelligence is about both. It's about being the friend or being the person in relationships that you've been called to create to be, but also it's about recognizing those that you're in relationship with and whether or not they are people who are in the right seat, on the bus of your life. But a framework for friendship is this: is this a person that has unbridled honesty? Because if they're not willing to be honest with me, it means I'm going to spend my friendship with them not in delight, but I'm going to have to be a detective, always trying to figure out where they are, what they need from me, and how they're actually doing. All right, so framework for friendship: unshakable character. If you hadn't seen that video, check it out. Unconditional love. If you hadn't seen that video, check it out. How about you check out, and you probably need to put this one on repeat: unbridled honesty. Help me to be a truth teller, and help me to be a truth hearer. All right, take care.